who's heard of a favorite icon? Anybody want to care to like throw it at me? What do you think it is? URL
URL
icon. I saw some folks throwing this around. Chris, you're, obviously web developer.
browser
What
tab icon. Yeah.
browser? Yeah. So what the hell are we
Yeah.
talking about? EDR and
Yeah.
browser tabs and everything else.
Yeah, I mean that's right. Like it is that icon that you see in your browser tab. This actually comes from like way back in the day when, like in your browser you would save your favorite websites and you would like, save them into and you'd get a drop down. You could choose which website you wanted to go to. This allowed you to put an icon there. And then once tabbed browsing was invented for those of us who've been on the internet a long time, there were no tabs. You just had like 1 million windows open. Then we got tabs with icons. So that's what we're looking at.
I appreciate you making me feel really freaking old there, Chris. Somebody the other day told me, do you remember when Notepad didn't have tabs? And I was like, Notepad has tabs now? I didn't even know that was a thing. Oh, terrible. So I think we got it, right? We've got this icon file that allows us to quickly identify in our sea of 12,000 icons and icon groups which browsers we're going to. Does anybody want to take a crack before I hit the next slide? How is this related to threat detection, let alone endpoint detection response? That's an awkward one. I'll give that pregnant
Yeah.
pause for just a second, but I will tell you, while we're giving people a chance to be able to work through here, back in the long, long ago, so this is like the aughts, a lot of the way people scanned the internet was Nmap. And Nmap is a great tool. It's still up to date. And Nmap is full of these Nmap scripting engine capabilities. And one of these scripting engine capabilities was designed that if you go out there, you could scrape all kinds of websites on the internet. And it turns out really crafty researchers in the early 2000s all the way to the late 2000s discovered that you can take a web page and actually map the favorite icon against the database of these icons of known web apps. And it's a really good way to fingerprint. So I want to give you some heads up of how this has been used recently, because I'll get to that endpoint story in a second. And I'm loving the guesses. I'm going to actually read some of these guesses out here in a second. So here's a new place of research. Okay. This is the team by Validin. And the Validin team actually said, hey, we can actually use these favorite icon hashes since they're using roughly the same hashes over and over. We can find some impersonations of like threat actors, maybe. Are they trying to impersonate like a fake shady website, like maybe a OneDrive or a Google Drive or Gmail or whatever app you're using du jour? And one of my favorite ones that they actually found were they were creating cloned and fake AnyDesk websites. So these were like scammer landing pages. And if you notice, Validin tracks these icons, and I'll go back and forth, of these websites, allowing you to find, again, similar websites, but they're not quite exactly what they're made out to be. And so if I go back to this example, my favorite one that they posted was, look at these scammers trying to get people to go to these AnyDesk, and they're not the real AnyDesk. They're going to updaterdrivers.com and other shady stuff, anydesk.world, using weird top level domains. And they were getting people to download, obviously, malicious or tainted versions of AnyDesk, scam tools, etc. One more that I found just a month after this in 2024, the team Census. Census is kind of like a modern Nmap that scans the internet and all kinds of things all day, every day. A little bit more focused on kind of internet tech, or sorry, enterprise tech. Less of it we see kind of in the small enterprise mid-market, but definitely the big, large companies with massive SOCs tend to have licenses and subscriptions to Census. Just taking a look at what are people browsing. And notice they actually were able to find command and control instances by fingerprinting. Hey, the favorite icon they were using, we could map it to their web panel, their shady panel used for command and control. And so they found out they used that same icon and the same hash, and were able to scan the internet and find other command and control instances of this info stealer. So pretty freaking neat, right? Of how forensics on something so obscure like a favorite icon would be used.